Good morning, class 2. I hope you all are doing good. Now, as you all know that your half yearlies are coming soon, and we have provided you with the oral test schedule. So, I must suggest you all to go through the syllabus first thoroughly and look up for your roll number in the schedule so that you can prepare for your half yearlies oral test accordingly. Okay, so now today we are going to start with a revision work. Okay, so for today I'm going to take the revision of unit number 1 poem, first day at school. Okay, first day at school. As you all know, the first and foremost thing which is very important for all of us, that is the name of the poem and name of the poet. Okay, so you all have to memorize the name of the poem and the name of the poet, which is the name of the poem is First Day at School and the name of the poet is Eileen Fisher. Apart from that, be very specific with the spelling of Eileen Fisher. This may sound pretty simple, but most of you commit most of you write incorrect spellings of the names of the poet. So do practice the names the spellings of the names of the poet. Now today we are going to discuss some revision exercises of our poem First Day at School. But before we start discussing our exercises, let's revise what we learned in this poem. So in this poem, the poet discusses the feelings of a child. Okay, all right, let me begin with the question. If you remember your first day at school, if you remember the feeling which you experienced when you got to know that you will be going to school for the first time, how did you feel? Were you nervous, excited, or sad? Most of you might say nervous, and some of you might say yes, I was very excited. So I can totally understand that. So in the poem also there is a child who is who is sharing his feelings about his first day at school. Okay, he's wondering in the poem, he's thinking how his first day at school would go. Okay, so in the poem he first expresses that if his drawing would be as same as his classmates, okay, as good as his classmates, he wonders if his teacher would look like his mother or grandmother. Okay, or he also gets worried about the fact that other students might be full of stares, the class will be full of stares, which means that all of the classmates would start staring at the child. Now what does staring? Morning class 2, I hope you all are doing good. Now, like we discussed, we are going to take up some revision question and answers of our poem, related to our poem of unit number 1, that is first day at school. So let's look at the questions one by one. Question number 1 says, who is the poet of the poem First Day at School? I have already told you to memorize all the names of the poem and their poets. Okay, they are very important. They are very important. And also do practice the spellings of their names. Okay, all right, so who is the poet of the poem First Day at School? So the poem, the name of the poet who has composed this poem is Eileen Fisher. Okay, question number 2, why is the child worried in the poem? Worried, tensed. Okay, why is it stressed? So the child is worried in the poem because it is his first day at school. So it's very obvious that the child is quite nervous. Okay, question number 3, where was the child going? So in the poem we saw that the child was going to school for the first time. With whom does the child compare his drawing? So in the poem, in the very beginning, in the first stanza of the poem, the poet has told us that the child is thinking, the child is wondering whether his drawing will look as good as his classmates. Okay, so he has compared the drawings, he has compared his drawing with his classmates. Okay, and he's wondering whether it will be as good as theirs. Now question number 5 says, what does the child wonder about his teacher in the poem? What does the child think about his teacher in the poem? So the child wonders if his teacher would look like his mother or grandmother. Okay, so he thinks, he wonders whether his teacher would look like his grandmother or mother. After that, we have two opposite words to discuss. First one is good. The opposite of good is bad, and the opposite of day is night. Okay. If there was anything related to this worksheet which you could not understand, you can contact me right away. That's it for today. Thank you so much. Take care.